MRSA is a pretty scary word. Methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus is often thought of as a superbug, something so dangerous, it's practically a death sentence. Well, not so fast. MRSA is actually a pretty common bug, and it's actually a very big group of bugs, all of which are Staphylococcus aureus, all of which have resistance to a specific category of antibiotics that are related to penicillins. Dr. Yuval Bibi, dermatologist, mission break you out of the skincare matrix of overhyped hysteria and put you back in charge of your own skin. First of all, do yourself a solid. If you think you have MRSA is best diagnosed and managed with the help of your friendly neighborhood dermatologist. So if you do think you have MRSA, take yourself down to the local dermatologist office for a culture and possible initiation of antibiotic treatment right on the spot, which will make things a whole lot simpler. Culture ensures that, first of all, you know that it is MRSA or any other bacteria if it is a bacterial infection. And second, with bacterial growth in culture, you get a profile of the bacterial sensitivity and resistance to antibiotics, and that may affect the treatment for that specific case and what antibiotics are used down the road. So contrary to popular belief or myth, MRSA is actually pretty common. It occurs in the community, it occurs in hospitals, and in most cases, it's actually a harmless bacterium that resides on people's skin without doing much of anything. However, in certain cases, certain specific individuals, MRSA does lead to problems ranging from dry, sensitive skin, eczema, and irritation of the skin through folliculitis, furunculosis, which is larger pimples on the skin. And in the worst cases, it can lead to MRSA abscesses, actual big boils, big, very painful boils, and cellulitis. The latter two can be very serious infections and even life-threatening if not treated properly and in a timely fashion. In certain cases, and that's what we're going to address shortly, MRSA can appear as a recurring problem, meaning people get recurring and very painful and annoying boils over various parts of the body. And that issue is often addressed on a case-by-case basis, meaning every time they get a boil, the boil gets lanced or they get some antibiotics and they keep on coming back to the doctor's office or go to the ER and get those treated there. Now that is a major drag. So what do? Well, first of all, avoid generic cleansers and disinfectants. Those simply damage the skin barrier and the skin microbial population and actually open up the door for more MRSA to potentially grow and dig itself in deeper, making your problem worse. MRSA infection as an active lesions must be treated promptly. Now, drainable abscesses or boils might be actually treated with a technique called incision and drainage alone, meaning under local numbing, you cut and open the boil and drain its contents. That may actually lead to resolution of the boil in many cases. However, if you get boils that are not drainable, meaning you can't lance the thing and get the pus out, or you have a solid area, as in the case of cellulitis, those cannot be drained and they must be treated with the appropriate antibiotics. Now, the choice of antibiotics for MRSA is pretty straightforward in most cases. Your dermatologist or your treating physician will make that choice, get you started on a treatment course, usually for about 5 to 7 days, sometimes a little bit longer than that, really depending on the severity and the distribution of the lesions. However, antibiotic treatment does bring relief and resolve most cases. The response may take a few days to a few weeks. But what if the MRSA keeps recurring? That means one thing. It means that the MRSA is colonizing your skin or some other elements in your environment, and that makes up a reservoir from which the MRSA keeps on multiplying and keeps on attacking the skin. That reservoir must be addressed in a process called decolonization. Decolonization is the process of applying antibiotics and antibacterial elements to all areas that could potentially serve as a reservoir on your skin, getting rid of residual MRSA over those areas and ensuring that it doesn't come and bug you in the future. Decolonization is implemented by applying an antibiotic ointment, really depending on the type of MRSA you're dealing with, and you must consult your dermatologist for the right antibiotic. But applying an antibiotic over all the skin folds of the body, starting with the nostrils of your nose, behind your ear, under your armpits, on the belly button, on the groin area and on the butt crack. In women with pendulous breasts, you may apply the antibiotic under the breasts. The application is done twice a day. Very tiny amounts will suffice. You don't have to goop those areas up. And then for the more hardcore decolonizers, you can use an antibacterial wash such as chlorhexidine 4% solution, otherwise known as Hibiclens, once a day in the shower, applied from the neck down as a body wash, lather it onto the skin, leave it on for about a minute or so, and then rinse it off while you're decolonizing. Decolonization is employed anywhere from a week to 2 weeks. And once the process is complete, a good practice is to go down to the dermatologist office and get the skin recultured to make sure that you got rid of the MRSA. There's no more MRSA growth over your skin. Now, if you've gone through decolonization and are still getting boils, a very rare occurrence, but it's still possible, that may mean that you did not decolonize properly, which means you may need to repeat decolonization. Or you may have another source of MRSA in your environment. Sometimes a spouse or a family member may be that source. They may be completely asymptomatic, but will transfer the MRSA back to you, and you will repopulate your MRSA on your skin and keep getting those boils and other MRSA-related problems. So if you're not responding to the first episode of decolonization, again, you may need to decolonize again, or see if other family members are carrying MRSA on their skin and giving it back to you. Also, in the process of decolonization, it's a smart move to launder your clothes and sheets and other fabric elements in your environment in bleach and hot water to get rid of MRSA, so your skin does not get reinfected by coming in contact with old objects that carry MRSA on them. Again, after the decolonization process has been complete, I highly recommend going back to clinic and evaluating the skin for MRSA, making sure that the decolonization is successful. Let me know in the comments section how this video transformed your MRSA care and helped you get rid of those annoying boils, recurring boils on your skin. Also, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for more No BS skincare advice. See you next time. God bless.